Thank you for your patience. The doctor will see you now.
Hello, Bath! Thank you, my lovers. I love you too. I love you. I love you particularly. You're looking a bit rough, but I love you. You are gorgeous. Look at them. A big round of applause for all the people up in the cheap seats up there. Say hello. I can't see you, but I can smell you. You smell lovely up there. This is great, isn't it? It's like private at the front, NHS at the top. Hello! I sort of see myself as an adopted West Country man. I was actually brought up in Australia, Mount Pleasant. Anyone here in Perth? Anyone here from Mount Pleasant Primary School, Perth? Lovely. I used to skip off to school, and my Auntie Madge would sit by the door, and I'd be skipping off to school, and she'd go, "Philip, keep it in your trousers." Just like the old thing for Auntie Madge to say. I'd say, "Auntie Madge, I'm only 6. I'm on my way to school. I'm wearing shorts. I don't need to keep it in my trousers." But she was a slightly peculiar woman, Auntie Madge. She taught me everything I knew. Sadly, my dad died. He was Australian. We came back to live here in Wiltshire, in the West Country. Went to St John's Comprehensive Marlborough. Anyone here from St John's? Anyone even heard of St John's? And gradually moved to Bath, where I did most of my medical training at the Royal United Hospital. That's a lovely hospital, Royal United, isn't it? If you're ever going to build a hospital, here's a top tip: build it up a hill. There's a fantastic idea, isn't it? If you go to any casualty department in the country on a Saturday night, it's like a battle scene out of The Lord of the Rings, isn't it? There are people celebrating the joy of human existence by drinking 18 pints of snakebite and headbutting the nurses. You go to the Royal United, everyone pissed collapses halfway up the hill. Fantastic piece of design engineering. My favourite person I remember from my days at the Royal United, I did my house jobs and my GP training, and there was a woman who used to push around the papers trolley. I'm going to call her June, because I can't remember her name. And you'd hear her, she'd push around her trolley, she'd go, "Papers! Papers! Mars bars, Kit Kats, papers!" And she'd go onto the surgical ward, and everyone would be nil by mouth. She'd go, "Mars bars, Kit Kats!" And they'd go, "I can't really, I'm nil by mouth." And she'd go, "I won't tell if you won't." Those are the kind of people, the emotional glue that stick hospitals together, isn't it? The people who work there all their lives. If you wanted to know who was shagging who, which surgeon had gone off the boil, which pathologist had cataracts, she was the person to ask. She knew everything. She knew everything. It is an important point, isn't it? People say you should choose your surgeon. You should choose your surgeon, but actually more important, you want a pathologist who doesn't have cataracts. Who knows the difference between, I don't know, an ovary and a faggot? It's a hidden specialty, pathology, but we need to flush it out into the open, I feel. I did love the Royal United. One of the reasons I like Bath is that people are sexually quite adventurous here, aren't they? Do you not find that? I remember I was in casualty once, and this bloke came in with his penis hanging by a thread, with his partner, his girlfriend, who had a burn on the top of her forehead and bruises and lacerations on the back of her scalp. It was Shrove Tuesday. He was doing the cooking, he was cooking the pancakes. She was so delighted that her partner was cooking that she decided to pleasure him down below. Are we all happy with pleasuring down below? I'm trying to get a U certificate for this DVD, so picture the scene. She's pleasuring him down below, he's cooking pancakes, and that's just about all the multitasking a man can do, isn't it? That's about it. You don't want to do any more than that, do you? Maybe a little bit of pelvis, but certainly no more than that. That would be about the limit. This man very unwisely goes for the double toss. He thinks he's going to toss the pancake up below. Flicks the pancake up into the air, gets a bit distracted, misses it on the way down. Piping hot pancake lands on his girlfriend's forehead. She yelps, bites into his penis, and he hits her head with the back of the frying pan to get her to let go. Come on, come on. What can you do? It's one of the few occasions in life when you need a health and safety assessment, isn't it? Should have phoned up health and safety, he'd have checked the batter. And probably advised a safety net. A safety net there would have done wonders, wouldn't it? You could sort of be creative without any fear of burning. So always contact health and safety if you're going to be adventurous. The one thing I learnt working in casualty, which is quite interesting, is that children and toddlers tend to put things in their upper holes, don't they? Whereas adults, as you descend into adult, all of a sudden you put things in your lower holes. It's an amazing part of human development, isn't it? You start in the upper holes and you work your way down to the lower holes. I've got a pen here somewhere to prove I did have a pen here somewhere and I've lost it. But where's my pen? Has anyone got a pen? In your own time, don't worry. How are you doing? You all right? Excellent. Give me a pen. Come on. No one's brought a pen. Come on, the bar shuts in 15 minutes. Quick, quick. Now, this is interesting, because if you give a toddler a pen, he'll do that, won't he? Stick it up his nose, he'll stick it in his ear. And then, when children learn to write, there's a golden phase of human development, is it, for about 30 or 40 years, where you think you're going to make your way in the world, and you learn to be creative, and you write wonderful stories. And then you get to about, 47, and you find yourself trapped in a dead-end job and a loveless marriage. And you think, you know what, I might as well stick this up my ass. And people do. It is a Class A addictive behaviour. You'd be amazed what people stick up there. For men, you have the pleasure of the prostate gland. You'll know this, a medical audience. The prostate has a couple of lobes and a central sulcus that you can rest a snooker cue in. And believe me, people have. In fact, the sheer range of things that people put up their backside is matched only by the ingenuity shown by doctors to fish them out again. Sorry, you can have your pen back. That was lovely, thank you. I think my favourite ever, this bloke came into casualty with a turnip stuck in his back passage. Now, you would have thought, wouldn't you, if you're going to choose a vegetable, you would choose a cylindrical one, wouldn't you? That would be it. It was a massive turnip. And the best thing about all these things are the stories that people tell to justify how they came to be in this predicament. His story was fabulous. He claimed that his wife was pregnant, was about to give birth, and he wanted to share her pain. He wanted to experience what childbirth might be like. So he popped a turnip up there, couldn't get it out again. Actually, that gave us an idea, a fabulous idea. How were we going to get it out? We put lots of lube on there, got some obstetric forceps. Put a little forceps on one bit of the turnip, little forceps around the other bit of the turnip, gave it a little tug. Thought of a name yet? And pants. Oh, we can see the hair. Out it came. My favourite story, actually, there was a bloke who came in with a ketchup bottle up his fundament. And this was a lovely story. He'd been out for a few beers, much as we are this evening. And his story was that he got back to his house and he'd lost his keys, as you do. So he'd had to break in through the pantry window. There's always a little warning, an internal alarm, when the phrase break in through the pantry window comes. Now, unfortunately, the pantry window, as they tend to be, is quite narrow. So he had to take off his trousers to get into the pantry window. I'm just starting to think this is ever so slightly implausible, but I let him go on, and he went in, feet first, slipped on the shelf, woo! Up went the ketchup. And I thought, fair enough, I'm prepared to accept this. This is a fair enough, plausible story. I'm going to code that as an accident. And he would have got away with it had it not been for the fact that when we removed the ketchup bottle, there was a condom stuck on the top. Now, how did that happen then? Actually, that's not a bad shout, to be honest. A condom on top of a ketchup bottle is a very sensible shout. Bit of lubrication. You don't want to harm things down there. Stops the leakage of the ketchup. You don't want people thinking you've got, bowel cancer. And also, you can use the ketchup afterwards, can't you? Ketchup, very good for your prostate, very good for your heart. Lycopenes, red fruits. The most dangerous thing we ever took out was a light bulb. That's just an extraordinary... people do. There's a little light bulb in there. Fabulous X-ray. Fabulous X-ray. You can see all the filaments, which is beautiful. And there was a little medical student passing by, and she looked at it and she went, "How does anyone swallow a light bulb?" Can you guess how we got that one out? Strips of papier-mâché. We laid strips of papier-mâché, a little bit like Blue Peter. Actually, probably not at all like Blue Peter. I haven't watched all the episodes, I don't remember that one. And here's one we removed earlier. Little strips of papier-mâché, and then broke it, and then pulled it out very nicely.